Shalom, everyone. We are gathering tonight for a special conversation about modern events. God willing, every week we'll have a discussion about topics on your mind and topics in the media that are worthy of mention. So I want to start with discussing something I'm seeing a lot of, and I think all of you probably share the same angst about this. There seems to be a lot of disunity in unity. Now, what do I mean by that? Unity implies that people come together for a common purpose. If you and I agree, for example, in a common religion or a common philosophy, we get together and we practice it. We are together. We are unified. Disunity is the opposite. That's where we don't agree with each other, we don't like each other, and hence we split. We're not together. We're not one. But here's the most troubling thing to me about the modern culture. The modern culture seems to promote the idea of unify with groups that promote disunity. There are many factions, many groups gathering together around the world that unify its members, but the purpose of that unity is disunity. It's a very weird, strange thing to think about, but think about how many people that we know that are part of movements or ideas that, though they share commonality with other people, but the purpose of that commonality is to split things apart. It's not promoting peace. It's not promoting love and well-being and friendship between people. It promotes a warlike nature. It promotes fragmentation. So this culture, this idea of unity, but not really for the sake of the ultimate purpose of unity, which is peace and love and brotherhood, but rather for splitting things up, fracture. That actually has a biblical source. Believe it or not, there's actually a famous episode where the unity of mankind came together for that purpose. It came together because it had the idea of a unification, but the ultimate objective of it was a war against God, the ultimate act of disunity. So what am I talking about? Generations after the famous flood, the flood of Noah, the Mabul, the worldwide flood event, there was another flood, but not the flood of water, a flood where people were split apart. And it's called in Hebrew, Migdal Bavel, the Tower of Babylon, the Tower of Babylonia. What really is Migdal Bavel? Migdal Bavel occurred after the flood. Now, just to give a little bit of a context to this, the people in the days of the flood were not only not unified, but they hated each other. There was true sinat chinam, true hatred of the deepest type. Neighbor divided against neighbor. People cheating each other, stealing from each other. It was a world that was torn up. Generation of the Tower of Babel was a bit different. In actuality, love was part of their focus. They were unified together. They were one people. They'd gathered together in a valley, and they had in their minds an idea. We'll build a tower together. We're going to do this massive construction project. And the goal of this will be, we're making war against God. Now, at first, it sounds like a ridiculous idea. Why would man, only generations after the flood, ever believe you can make war against God and win? What kind of foolish conquest is this? But the rabbis tell us that the real meaning of that is they wanted to do things in a way that mankind did not have to suffer having to bear the yoke of the divine. They didn't want to have spiritual responsibilities. They didn't want to have to behold to a God or follow a God or worship a God or live in a godly manner. They wanted to do things their way, not according to divine principles. So insomuch as their common philosophy was to go against godly principles, that's called a war on God. They didn't want to follow God. They simply wanted to follow the evil, the hearts of men. So they were unified. They were unified toward a common purpose, but the common purpose was not a very good one, to betray their spiritual principles. Now, there's a fascinating understanding of this tower that needs to be put into play here. I started by saying to you that the current political climate promotes the idea of unity with one's own, but being at war with others. All of the parties hating each other, scheming against each other. The Lubavitcher Rebbe, the greatest spiritual leader of last century, talks about this Tower of Babel as to help us better understand how we can rectify that problem in the future. What is the tower? What is the ambition of the people, and how do we fix it? Explains the Rebbe in Likutei Sichot the following. The tower was an effort by man to perpetuate their memory forever through mortar and brick, meaning they wanted to be immortal. But being that man is not immortal, as God himself declares in the Parsha of Noach, that man's life will be 120 years. We're not immortal, but these tower builders had an idea. To make us immortal, we're going to build the biggest, baddest, most impressive tower there is. It'll stand and touch the sky, a biblical skyscraper, if you would. That was the plan. What happens at the end? God confuses their language and scatters them across the earth, the exact opposite of their ambition. But the question is, what is with this tower? The Rebbe says like this: mankind often makes the mistake of believing that the way we're going to have our immortality is by building a bigger, more impressive structure. Physicality, shiny metal, gold, precious stones. These things do not gain a person immortality. In fact, in Hebrew, the word for Babylonia, Bavel, the Khatam Sofer, one of the greatest minds, rabbinical minds of the 19th century, asked the question, what is Bavel, Hebrew for Babylon, Babylonia? It's an acronym for Boneh Bama La'atzmo. He builds a tower to himself. That was the mistake, says the Rebbe, of these people. This wasn't a tower for God. It was a tower for man. It was a tower for self-aggrandizement, egotism, promoting oneself. The Rebbe explains, if you want to truly build a lasting tower, you want to build a truly lasting enterprise, make it about God. Build schools to educate the young. Build hospitals. Build places that educate people in spiritual and divine principles. Don't simply build for the purpose of egotism, for your own self-aggrandizement. Build to promote the honor of God. Like the Talmud says, everything was made for the honor of God. Every day we have the responsibility to show God's honor and God's purpose in the world. So, to rectify the condition of our modern world of unity for the sake of disunity, of aligning political parties and putting things together for the purpose of war, we fix that by emulating, as the Rebbe explained, the fixing of the tower. We don't unify for the purpose of ego. We unify for the purpose of love, of unity, of promoting God, of promoting spiritual principles. If we can form unities between us that are not just simply about which group is stronger than which group and how we can better scheme and plan to overthrow the enemy, but rather we align ourselves for the purpose of promoting God in the world, of taking our ingenuity, our strength, our creativity, our money, our power, our capabilities, our aptitudes, and channeling them toward a divine expression. If we can do that, we can fix the modern warlike political climate, and more than that, we can fix the ancient sin of Migdal Bavel, the self-aggrandizing tower that led to the disunity of man. So may we all reflect a little bit deeper of how we can align ourselves with people in such a manner that promotes unity, brotherhood, and peace. If we focus on God and we focus on our spiritual mission, we'll build everlasting edifices, everlasting structures that stand the test of time. May you be blessed. Have a wonderful week. I look forward to seeing you again next week.